is this? Q. Q. This is indeed a Q.
All right, welcome to the Patriot Hour. I'm Michael, your host for April 11th, 2019. Again, if you're new, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for giving us some time. We know it's valuable. We know you're busy. And we try to bring you tidbits of information as we get it, as it comes to us. And we're following along here. We got some new QAnon, Q clearance, breadcrumbs, updates, drops, actually just one. And we'll jump right into that. Again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If maybe toggle the switch and then get YouTube to work with you and your device, your tablet, your phone, whatever it is. And it can alert you. That way when we put out a video, you'll get the alert. That way you don't miss anything we're putting out in this connecting of the dots. And again, don't ever take anything we say here to be word or truth or 100%. In the intelligence communities, you're going to look at a lot of things, gather lots of different sources, whether it's through the internet and articles and FOIA requests. And you just have to kind of connect all the dots, come to your own conclusion, use logical thinking, and think for yourself and come to your own conclusions. All right, only you can do that. This is a controlled narrative from the mainstream, and they are hammering it in, but we are at the tail end of all their lies, and the narrative has already started to flip. There was no Russia collusion. They needed that to be the case 100%. They needed something because now they have nothing. All right, let's jump into this Q update here. Again, it's 3311 in the series. That's 3,311 post updates since the beginning of all this in late October of 2017. Barr testifies spying did occur. Did a video on that yesterday to highlight that on the Trump campaign. So panic. There is panic going on. We got an article here. Right here. Barr testifies spying did occur on Trump campaign amid reported review of informant's role. So Attorney General Barr testified Wednesday that he believes spying did occur on the Trump campaign in 2016, as he vowed to review the conduct of the FBI's original Russia probe, and the focus of related internal review shifted to the role of the key FBI informant. I think spying did occur. The question is whether it was adequately predicated. Okay, so that means, why did it even start? I mean, you have people like, well, they're investigating Trump for Russia collusion. What about the people that have gone down around him? Manafort, Page, Roger Stone. If you look at their crimes, it has nothing to do with Russia collusion, right? They found tax stuff, bank loan fraud for Manafort, all going back to 8 years ago or so on some of the things, all right? Roger Stone lied. Flynn supposedly lied. So they had process crimes or other crimes that had nothing to do with the Russia collusion. So then you have to go back to, well, why was this really started? You know, you don't want to do unwarranted crimes, all right? You can't just, well, we think he's working with Russia, so let's open up and turn all the spy information, all the spy gathering tools that the taxpayers have built up to use on terrorists. Let's use it on a citizen here. And we'll see what's going on. And then, you know, unmask and all the other crimes that came along with it, folks. All right. And this is serious. And we've been talking about it for 2 years now. So he thinks the spying did occur. Was it adequately predicated? I think it's my obligation, he said, to look into this. And of course. So this full article will be down below, because I want to talk a little bit more about the facts of the matter here. All right, hold on, I gotta hold another article here. Now this is a little older, but I believe, well, let's just jump in here. So this is from 2017, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, of course. I just want to get some talking points out of this. Okay, so more evidence surfaces of NSA Director Mike Rogers did not aid in Obama's surveillance scheme. So every time I see an interview discussing the 2016 surveillance of the Trump campaign and candidate Donald Trump, I keep going back to the November 17, 2016 Trump Tower visit by the NSA Director, Admiral Mike Rogers. So if you remember, Rogers, being head of the NSA at the time, he was also in charge of looking at and reviewing the query search of the NSA system, all right? And what that means simply is there's certain people that have access, that are allowed to access from around the country at certain places, the database for all the intelligence that they have, all right? All the phone calls, and if you're investigating some Russian, you're allowed to kind of look at the stuff they have on them. And if that leads back to American phone calls of any citizen in the United States, their name would be masked. You'd have to go through other processes to get that unmasked. But these people were, and then the way you searched. So the minute that, you're not allowed to go in there and just start Trump and then see what pops up for Trump. You're supposed to be smart about it anyway and look at the foreign person that possibly has ties to that person. But they were straight going at Trump, unmasking names, leaking to the press, and it just created a whole thing. Anyway, Mike Rogers was in charge for his position. He had the right, or come into work at the NSA, sit down and look at this query system to see who's been accessing it. And what he saw shocked him, and the way they were unmasking. And it was just a careless amount of queries going on, right? That's what you call that, the queries. So Mike Rogers went and made a visit with Trump way back then when Trump was still a citizen. So no one in the Obama chain of command knew Director Rogers was going to meet with President then-elect Trump. Rogers did it entirely on his own. And James Clapper was furious in the aftermath of that. Additionally, Admiral Mike Rogers is still running the NSA at that time of this. President Trump has made no effort to replace him. 3 intelligence sources have informed Fox News that the president went outside the chain of command. He didn't use the NSA. He didn't use the CIA. He didn't use the FBI. This is Obama at the time. And he didn't use Department of Justice. He used the GCHQ. What the heck is a GCHQ? That's the initials for the British spying agency. They have 24/7 access to the NSA database. So simply by having 2 people go to them saying President Obama needs transcripts of conversations involving candidate Trump, conversations involving President-elect Trump, he's able to get it. And there's no American fingerprints on this. So now this is the first half of it, all right? They were doing illegal go-arounds. And then Obama, they got a legit one going. Well, we can't do it illegally the way they've been doing and getting stuff. That's when they came with Plan Z or Plan Y or something. That was to get the fake dossier, open up, kind of what appeared to be legal spying on Trump. Oh, now we're doing it the right way. There's FISA paperwork in, the judges have signed off. But again, the paperwork they put in to predicate to start all that was bullshit. All right, it was a lie as well. It was their Plan B, or Plan Z. I mean, I don't know how many plans they had, but so skip ahead a little here. If what Judge Napolitano says sources are saying is true, then it's even more confirmation for our hunch in earlier timeline. The NSA Director Mike Rogers didn't want to participate in or give aid in relationship to the surveillance scheme. Consequently, the Obama White House worked around Rogers with another source, the British Government Communication Headquarters, GCHQ, for the same information. In 2013, Edward Snowden released information the UK GCHQ was being partly funded by the US NSA to the tune of over $100 million. So we even fund that crap. So January 23rd to 17, 3 days after President Trump's inauguration, the head of the UK General Communications Headquarters, GCHQ, unexpectedly resigned. This was going on all through our own intelligence communities as well. People left and right leaving. They knew they were done. These people aren't stupid. Their only reason for doing all this was they thought Hillary was going to win, and it would all just be brushed under the rug. All the truth can be sitting in these systems, kind of paper trail, but you have the right people in charge, so nobody's going to look at it. So once she lost, the smartest people that aren't just going to talk and think they left. They were like, oh shoot, we hope that they can do something to get rid of Trump in the next few years, but I'm out of here. They don't want to play games anymore. So Robert Hannigan, all right, I did a video on this guy. Robert Hannigan, I did that in my Yellow Submarine. This guy's tied in a few different ways from Sunday. The director of the GCHQ has resigned from his job as head of one of the 3 government intelligence agencies after just 2 years. GCHQ would only say that Mr. Hannigan had left his post for personal reasons and that he was not sacked or subject to disciplinary proceedings. In hindsight, NSA Director Admiral Mike Rogers may have notified Team Trump of Obama's intelligence community, James Clapper and John Brennan, involvement or engagement in surveillance activity. As you look at the dates below, it's important to note that the NSA Director Admiral Mike Rogers would have been keenly aware of both of the June FISA request denied and the October request granted. Pay specific attention to the October's request. So June 16, FISA request. The Obama administration files a request with the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, FISA, to monitor communications involving Donald Trump and several adversaries. The request characteristically is denied. October 26, FISA request. The Obama administration submits a new, narrow request to the FISA court, now focused on a computer server in Trump Tower suspected of links to Russia banks. No evidence is found, but the wiretaps continue. So, unbelievable, folks, what they were doing here. Unbelievable. So Andrew McCarthy at the National Review later notes the Obama administration is now monitoring an opposing presidential campaign using the high-tech surveillance powers of the federal intelligence services. On Tuesday, November 8th, 16, the election was held. Results announced Wednesday, November 9th of 2016. On Thursday, November 17th, 2016, NSA Director Mike Rogers traveled to New York and met with then President-elect Donald Trump. On Friday, November 18th, the Washington Post reported on a recommendation in October that Mike Rogers be removed from his NSA position. The heads of the Pentagon and the nation's intelligence committee have recommended President Obama that the director of the National Security Agency, Admiral Mike S. Rogers, be removed. The recommendation delivered to the White House last month was made, this article's old, was made by Defense Secretary Ashton B. Carter of the Director of National Intelligence, James R. Clapper Jr., according to the several U.S. officials familiar with the matter. In a move apparently unprecedented for a military officer, Rogers, without notifying superiors, traveled to New York to meet with Trump on Thursday at Trump Tower. That caused issues with the Obama administration, right? Now, again, this is right after Rogers did a query, was doing his job to see how things were, if they were being handled correctly and with all this information. These people have promised to never use it against citizens. Well, not somebody that's even more precious. Somebody running for presidency. I mean, it's like you have 2 people, Hillary and Trump, running, and one person actually pays for a dossier from a known Russian oligarch or spy. Once they get all this bullcrap back, they run to the FBI with it or whoever to get intelligence stuff going. It seems like, and they keep talking about Trump and this, Junior meeting with people to get dirt on Hillary. But they didn't get nothing, but man, they were trying to. Well, here's one where they did. The other opponent wrote a book, got a book, and turned it right over to the FBI, like hand-delivered it, and then all this stuff started. And then it's been 2 years and nothing's come out of it. It was all a lie. That seems a little more worthy of worrying about. So we make sure this can never happen again. Now, this all happened under Obama, by the way. He was president, right? So how about, in foreign intelligence, foreign meddling in our election? How about domestic meddling in our elections by domestic terrorists with foreign ties? That's what we should be worried about. How can we make sure that never does another Hillary Clinton type person pay some foreign Russian person to write some dirt, get it back in the form of a dossier, and then flip it over to these idiots and get all the intelligence gathering billion-dollar budget system turned on one citizen. And then at the end of 2 years and a bunch of noise and a bunch of fake news that has been pounded into my fellow Americans' heads and echoed throughout the world, how do we make sure that never happens again? This is all under Obama, by the way. Not only was there foreign election rigging going on, there was domestic. So if you just look at the timeline of activity in the picture emerges. 1, the intelligence community at the direction of the President Obama made a request to the FISA court for the NSA to spy on Donald Trump in June of 2016. It was denied. Boom, they came back a few months later in October. The intelligence community, NSA, at the direction of President Obama made a second request to the FISA court for the NSA to spy on activity around Donald Trump. It was approved. 3, at the same time in October, the second request, Defense Secretary Ash Carter and the head of the DNI, James Clapper, tell President Obama to dump NSA Director Mike Rogers. A week after the election, Director Mike Rogers makes a trip to Trump Towers without telling his superior, James Clapper. 5, which immediately brings about new calls. November media leaks to Washington Post for President Obama to dump Admiral Mike Rogers. And he was fired. So it's the old Occam's razor, right? NSA Director Admiral Mike Rogers didn't want to participate in the spying scheme that Clapper and Brennan and Obama and etc. were doing, which was a baseline for President Obama's post-presidency efforts to undermine Donald Trump and to keep Trump from digging into the Obama labyrinth underlying his remaining loyalist. After the October spying surveillance operations went into effect, Rogers' unknown loyalty was at risk to the Obama objective. 10 days after the election, Rogers travels to President Donald Trump without notifying those who were involved in the intel scheme. Did NSA Director Mike Rogers wait for a SCIF, sensitive compartmentalized information facility, to be set up in Trump Tower? And then notify the president-elect he was being monitored by a group of representing President Obama's interest? Seems like it's likely. This whole thing was set up to protect Hillary and Obama from all the schemes and scams that they had pulled. Her server, Obama was complicit. He was emailing her with a fake pseudonym. He's lied about, I didn't know anything about it. Bullcrap. He went on TV. I mean, we got video proof of all of them lying, all of them being complicit, all of them doing it. And then they started all this. It was a projection operation. We're going to say Trump worked with Russia because we really did. We're going to say Trump did this because we really did. We're going to say Trump. And then when it all comes out at the end, some people will be so confused. Well, I thought it was Trump that was doing Russia stuff. That was their goal, to try to muffle this up at the end. When it all comes out, it was everyone else. Everyone's like, wait a minute, they were pointing fingers for Trump doing that. Now it's Obama. I don't believe it. That's how they operate. All right, mass confusion. All right, we're at the 20-minute mark. I'm gonna shut this one down. I got more to come, more to bring. I didn't even touch a fraction of what I wanted to get out. But again, I don't like to do hour-long videos. I like to get them short, sweet, to the point, and just to get you guys some of that information flowing throughout your bloodstream early in the morning. All right, again, I'm Mike. This is a Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed to each and every one of you worldwide, and we'll see you back here real soon on the next Patriot Hour update video. Make sure you're subscribed. Take a look in the description box for all the links that we went over. The links for the P.O Box if you want to send any swag in. We are currently building. It's probably going to take most of 2019. I'm in no rush. I want to keep doing the show. I don't want to be building the new studio and taking away from too much. But folks, we are on the flip side of things. It's going to be a little bit easier. It's going to be a little bit better to report on than it was these last 2 years. Now it's fun. Now it's, this is happening. This person's getting arrested. So we'll be here, but you guys are well-rounded now, and most of you are on tune, unless you're brand new. So if you are, welcome. And again, I'm Michael. This is a Patriot Hour. God bless each and every one of you, and we'll see you back here on the next Patriot Hour update video. Have a great morning.